Okay, here we are, the 16th of March, 2019. I guess 11 months ago I bought this HG-10B VFO at Fleamarket. I think I paid $40 or $45 for it. And I think, as you've seen in the previous videos, it was wired by someone who was maybe visually impaired, I think. So I don't know how many hours I've spent on this. Quite a few of them were spent hand copying sections of the manual so I could rebuild it. I took all the electronic parts out except the major components like the coils and trimmer capacitors and stuff. All the mechanicals I left in. But all the small components, resistors and capacitors were taken out, and the wiring, and it was done from scratch. And here today we finally have the proof in the pudding. Been using the digital receiver here to set the tracking and calibration on the thing. So what we got right now, so I'm listening to the 7240 SwapNet in California. And I've got this thing 0 beat. And so there it is. You can read the calibration. 7240. Don't have the bottom on it, but you can just listen to it. I'll set this up with a little bit of a beat note, and if it was drifting, that beat note would change.
I'd like to, I'm not going to list it.
You can see that I've got 108 volts on it. Looks like it's supposed to have. Might be drifting a little bit. Doesn't have the bottom plate on it. Took the bottom plate off and can't find it. So there's 0 beat.
I need to do some TikTok, and
we'll see how long this thing takes to wander off.
Looked up there, and you know, it's old stuff.
If it's drifting, it's very slow.
Old, and they've improved the rotor since then. Over.
So don't really need to listen to that right now. But at any rate, yesterday I got ready to fire it up and got nothing out of it. I decided to test the tubes, and I hadn't. Everything else was wrong on this thing, but somehow I hadn't checked the tubes. It had the wrong darn tubes in it. Had a 6U8 instead of a 6CH8, a different base diagram. That won't work. Had an OA2 instead of an OB2. So got some tubes and tested them, make sure they were like new, and put them in there, and it started to work. And it worked on 80 right away, and it worked on 6 and 2 meters, but the 40 meter band, which of course multiplies to 20, 15, and 10, that was dead. So I put it away last night. This morning I came out and checked the wiring with the ohm meter on the 40 meter circuit, and it was all okay. Decided to look real closely at the little trimmer and temperature compensation capacitors, and lo and behold, one of those wasn't soldered. Wrapped the lead around and hadn't soldered it. Put a glob of solder on there, but didn't succeed in soldering it. That's one of the few solder joints or components in there that I didn't take out and redo. And of course, you know, the legacy is stupid. Didn't work. So touched up 2 or 3 solder joints in there, one on the band switch and 2 on the trimmer and temperature compensator capacitors, and bang, came to life on 40. It's been a fair amount of time getting it calibrated, a bunch of jumping around, but finally got a good calibration across the board, and so I'm happy with that. And let's see now. If it's drifted, it's less than 100 cycles. I'd say no perceptible drift in that couple of minutes. So I needed a VFO for a couple of things. I've got a Globe Scout to use on AM, and I can use crystals with it. But I've got a Globe double sideband transmitter, DSB 100, and the vintage sideband net out here on the West Coast is $38.95. And there were no military crystals, no FT243s that were ever on that frequency, so I had to get a VFO. And so here we are. And the takeaway from this, besides the fact that the seller either had never looked inside this thing and had no idea what he was selling to me, or else he was incredibly unscrupulous. Yeah. One way or the other. The takeaway from this is that despite the fact that this thing was apparently built by a ham-handed numbnuts, the quality of the components and the design is so good that taking it apart and doing it over has yielded a very nice little unit, and I'm very happy with the stability of it so far, which I'm sure will improve once I get the bottom plate on it and let it warm up. I'll do a final retouch on the calibration then. But you know, good one for good old Heathkit, man. So there's the story. Almost a year later and countless hours. I think a pretty good product. So, that's W6WUH. Thanks for watching.